if you're making these mistakes, your vocals just aren't going to sound great. They're going to sound terrible, and no one's going to want to listen to your music, and you don't want that, do you? So first thing you need to do is, yo Ogwan, hope you're having a great day. In this video, I'm going to be sharing 3 major vocal compression mistakes that you're probably making right now. So definitely stick through to the end so you can learn how to stop making these mistakes and how to actually fix that and use compression the correct way. Okay, now if you don't know who I am, I'm Jay Carteret from jcarteret.com, teaching you how to be better at music, online business, and online marketing. This is the #1 spot for musicians and creatives that don't want to be starving artists. So if that sounds like you, click on that subscribe button, check out the rest of the content on this channel because you will love it here, guaranteed. Okay, now let's get into this. In my past like 3 videos that I've recorded, I totally forgot about the question of the day. Question of the day is, what do you usually use compression for? And my second question of the day is, what compressor are you using? Because I'm actually really interested in both of those, to be honest. But let's get into this, okay? So I'm gonna be bringing up one of my songs that I've done before, and we're gonna look into the different things that you may be doing that are just incorrect, okay? So I'm gonna play this song back, and then I'm gonna be showing you some examples of the song without effects, and I need you to keep in mind it's gonna sound atrocious. Yeah, I listened back to it and it sounds terrible, but let me just play a little bit for you so you can hear what we've got with all the effects and compression and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so this is that. Change. You will never change. Gave you so many chances. That's enough. First mistake that people make when it comes to compression, and this is a mistake that I used to make. Like, I used to record and then be like, oh, my vocals are too low, I need them to be louder. And instead of what you should do, I just added compression to make everything louder. Now, the reason why you don't want to do this is because what compression is actually supposed to be used for is it's supposed to just bring all the dynamics to the same level. For example, if I'm recording now and I say something and it spikes the volume, and I say something and it's super low, but the general gist of it is around 1 volume, I can add a compressor to just bring everything to the same level, which is generally what you want when you're listening back to a song. You don't want things that go super high or things that go super low, unless that's the stylistic choice that you're doing. Maybe a chorus is coming in, you're singing a little bit louder, or maybe, you know, you have a soft part, you're singing a little bit lower. Okay, but what you actually need to do, yeah, instead of just flinging a compressor on there, is you need to set your input gain correctly. You need to actually be recording at the right volume. Now, if I play back this without my main compression, there will still be a send to parallel compression, but it won't make that much of a difference, so don't worry about it. But let me actually turn off the sends as well. If I just play this back here, you'll hear that it's at a reasonable level. It's actually louder than it is after the compression. So let's play this back. Change. You will never change. Gave you so many chances. Yeah. You just stay the same. Gave you my heart, now I'm heartless. Jesus Christ, that sounds awful. I'm a better singer now, I promise. But that sounds I think even these days I probably sound terrible without the auto tune. But just for comparison's sake, like, that is way louder than what it actually comes out to. This is what it sounds like with all the effects and all the compression. Change. You will never change. Gave you so many chances. Yeah. You just stay the same. Gave you my heart, now I'm heartless. Also, little trick with auto tune is, you know, when you do sing out of tune, it can have some interesting effects. So that's that. First mistake is to use compression to make your vocals louder. Stop doing that. Instead, make sure that you're close enough to the mic. A good rule of thumb is you want like 1 fist between your mic and the pop shield. Then you want a fist between the pop shield and your actual mouth, and you should get a good level that way. If you're recording and the level's still not where you want it to be, then you need to adjust your interface or adjust the volume that you're coming in at, you know, if you're using an interface or you're using a USB mic basically. But another reason why you don't want to use compression to just bring your volume up is because if you're recording at a particularly low level, when you use compression, it's going to bring up everything around that low level. So you're going to bring up all the noise, all the humming, that light is probably buzzing, but you can't hear it because, you know, I've got, well, I guess it's just gated out. Like my mic doesn't pick up that loudly because it knows what to pick up. But if I compressed everything and I was recording very low, you'd probably hear that in the background, and you definitely don't want that in your song because that's going to sound terrible, isn't it? The second mistake is using one compressor and calling it quits. I used to do this. I used to just add one compressor, add some EQ, and I was done. But that's not necessarily what you want to do, okay? This can work, but if you add effects after your compressor, you might realize that you get a better vocal tone recording if you add more compressors that have different purposes. For example, here we have auto-tune, EQ, then we got Nectar, which I believe is doing a de-esser, then we got a gate, then we got a compressor, then we got some more EQing after that compression, then we got another compressor. Then I've got RVox, which is also a compressor. Then I've got EQing, and then I've got another compressor. Then I've got EQing. Then I've got Nectar, which I'm unsure exactly what it's doing here. I think this is saturation. And then we've got EQing again. So after certain effects, you might want to add a compressor. So if you got an EQing, if you got an EQ and you're taking out a bunch of stuff, you might want to compress everything after that. So just get everything to the same level because you've taken out all the annoying sounds. You might want to just level everything out. So keep that in mind. You might want to add more than one compressor. Just experiment with it. See what happens. This is all just trial and error, all about having fun. So do what you think will work and see what's up, okay? Mistake number 3 is compressing bad frequencies. And this basically happens if you add a compressor before you add EQing, before you take away the terrible frequencies. So if we bring up this Neutron 3 equalizer, hopefully Studio One doesn't crash because, you know, I've got a lot of plugins going on. Let's not share right now. As you can see, I'm taking out a variety of different frequencies. We've got some around the 3K mark or 2.9K. We've got some boosting, but we're taking out stuff around, you know, 700, taking out stuff around 400, taking out stuff around, you know, the bass range around 150, 200, around there, just to make the vocals sound better, get rid of the boxiness, get rid of certain aspects that I didn't enjoy. Okay, everyone's voice is different, so you can't just copy this. You'll need to, you can copy it, but you'll need to move it around to get to your voice basically. Also, if you want to grab my vocal mixing template, link down below, go to jcarterray.com/vocal templates. That will have your vocals Spotify ready and half mixed before you even get to the mixing stage. Great stuff, trust me. But you don't want to add compressor before you EQ. You want to get rid of these frequencies and then add a compressor. The reason why is because if you add a compressor first, you're just going to bring all those frequencies up to the forefront and make it harder to get rid of them. You want to get rid of them first and then compress. You don't want to compress and then try to get rid of them because that's just going to make it a harder job for you, okay? So that's that basically. 3 major mistakes that people use when they're using compressors, okay? So if you want some free beats, there's a link down below as well. You can get 5 of my beats for absolutely free and actually make money from that and upload your songs to Spotify and all that sort of stuff. But if you want your vocals to be Spotify ready and you want them to be mixed correctly, link down below to my Spotify ready vocal mixing template. I've got one for FL Studio and Studio One. And even if you don't want to use the same effects that I use, it comes with a PDF that will walk you through all the different effects that I use and all the different parameters, all the details, so you can use whatever plugin that you want to use instead of the plugins that I use and just input the same numbers basically. So that's that. If you got any questions or any other tutorials you want me to make, please leave a comment down below. And in the next video, you'll learn more about music, online business, and online marketing. I'll see you there. Peace out.